will always be there. For example, in my career, I am female, I'm dyslexic. English isn't my first language and I'm working for an English broadcaster. And I studied architecture, I didn't even study journalism. But I thought, I know I want to do this and I will make it happen. So I taught myself how to film, I taught myself how to edit, I taught myself how to produce, how to present. I taught myself how to do every single thing and got good at them. So if I want to do something, I make it happen. Not because I'm special. There are people who are more talented than me, who are so much prettier than me, who have connections, who have come from money. I don't. But I believe in myself. This is a project I did in Indonesia. It's called Living with the Dead. And it's about our attitudes towards our dead relatives, dead loved ones. The video you just saw, apart from the obvious, I had food poisoning. My producer had been stung by a snake. My interpreter had to take her to a hospital. Everything you can imagine was going wrong, everything. But it's been one of my most successful projects. Not because I got everything easy, but because I had so many challenges to deal with. And despite those challenges, I kept going on. Now here, 10, 15 minutes before this, I had just missed a suicide attack. This is a project I did in Afghanistan where I was focusing on intangible effects of war on people's mental health. So I went to the country's only secure psychiatric institute. I spoke to people who are suffering from PTSD. I mean, this is a country that's been at war for almost 40 years. I was interviewing this girl in a building and my security advisor was like, Sahar, we gotta go. And I was like, no, go away, I'm not done. And it was like, we have to go. 5 minutes after we leave, before I went to that mosque, we got a phone call. There was a suicide attack and 12 people died in that building. During that trip and many other trips I've been to, you're really putting your life in danger. But the reason I keep going on is to tell untold stories and give a voice to people who don't have it, so that I can make the world care. That is, I feel like that's my purpose in life. I feel like if I wasn't doing that, then I'm not me, then my life isn't worth living anymore. And when you think that way, then explosions, bears chasing you, things just don't matter anymore. And I think it's really important to really find that passion, that voice inside of you, that fire inside of you. I got inspired to have this passion because of a young girl. I'm going to very quickly tell you her story. She had a nice, normal life. Then one day, they take her dad away. The police comes in, takes her dad, and the next morning, her mother wakes her up for school. But instead of actually going to school, she gets taken to the airport. That was the start of several years of living in refugee camps around the world, getting smuggled from border to border from different countries, sleeping on the streets. That girl was me. But years of living in refugee camps, years of living on the streets, getting smuggled, not going to schools, having basic things taken away from me, gave me a real perspective, gave me a reason to want to be a voice to people who are in the situation I was once in. Every time I interview someone, I feel like I'm interviewing that little Sahar. Every time I'm helping someone's story be told, and when I feel like it's being heard and possibly making a difference, I feel like I'm helping that little girl. Success is determined by the point you give up and what you do with your challenges. And if you have a reason big enough, and if you have a goal, then you will know what to do. You just have to stick in there. You just have to keep going. Failure doesn't exist. We just have setbacks. We have expectations that are sometimes not met, but it doesn't mean that we failed. It just means that we have to try other things. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Sahar Zand. Thank you for bringing so many diverse stories about human beings in the world.